out. And here we are. Now we're on YouTube. Let's hear it again. We have a live studio audience. I am loving this. Hey, folks, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor, live from the Sun Princess. We were going to be inside the dome. They told us, hey, the dome's open until 8 o'clock tonight, no problem. Well, the dome is closed. And we were already here. So we are actually just underneath the dome. There's a bar called the Cascade Bar on deck 17 forward. That's where we're hanging out right now. So if you happen to be watching us from a ship, come on up here because we've got a live studio audience. We have about 40 folks that we brought on here with Where's Walter Travel in a group. And so we're all hanging out on the ship. And I've got, I don't know, I've got hundreds of people sitting off camera right now. Use your imagination. And then we've got Kurt, who's like the cool dude right there, hanging out right there behind me. So folks, oh, we have an announcement. This is great. I love this. Our cruise director.
Sun Princess Cruise Director here, just to give you a little rundown of some of our events that are happening.
So we got a lot of events coming up tonight. Last night they actually had to cancel everything up in the dome because the weather was kind of rough, and that's a suspended show, so they could not do the show because it would have been too dangerous. So tonight they're going to be doing shows up there. We've got some other performances down in the theater tonight. We got all the things that the cruise director is going to be telling us. Last night we went to the main dining room. It was amazing. Hey Alex, how are you? Good to see you. So we've got Benny, we've got Saul, we've got Cindy, we've got Josie, we've got Christine, and we've got Kurt hanging out over here with us. We are sitting, you can kind of see the glass behind me. We're sitting on the bottom of the dome, which is the Cascade Bar on deck 17 forward of the Sun Princess. Hey Lucas, how are you? So we are live on the Sun Princess right now. If you've got any questions about this ship, feel free to ask. We've been waiting over a year to get on here. We are in a cove balcony. We absolutely are loving the cove balcony. Once she's done, I'm going to see if our audience has any questions, but I can't hear our audience right now because it's too loud. Hey Rick. Hey Benny. Hi. How are you? Benny's sitting right here. Hello, Benny. How are you? Do you have a question, Benny?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, Benny will have a question soon. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, do you guys have any questions or comments right now? The peanut gallery that's hanging out over here. No, not yet. Okay, they're all stunned into silence because they're amazed that I'm actually here and not like in a screen. There's a lot of incredibleness going on right now and awesomeness that you can't feel until you're actually sitting here with me, right?
Correct.
Right.
That did not go well. Okay. But how's everybody doing? If you've got some questions about the ship, certainly do reach out. So last night, dining was a little bit messed up. The app went down. All the services for the dining room, wherever you want to go, and so we did. So it was a little bit of a cluster getting into dinner, but once we got into dinner, we had a fabulous dinner in the main dining room last night. We were sitting with Zach and Mindy, and you know, the dinner itself was just like almost a perfect experience. Getting into the dinner, it was a little bit of a cluster, but and I have heard that there is a big Facebook group for this cruise, and people are just going nuts and complaining. I don't know what y'all are complaining about. I mean, yeah, there are some things to complain about, but by no means is this a really bad cruise right now. So we've yet to have a bad cruise. It's not a perfect cruise. This is not a perfect ship. There are things that I hope that they're going to tweak with the Star Princess when it comes out. But I saw somebody said, where did we sail out of? We went out of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. We were late. We were about 2.5, almost 3 hours late getting out. Supposed to leave about 3 o'clock. We got out about 5:30, 6 o'clock. Something to do with the fuel bunker. The fuel bunker, so you know, when they fill these ships up, there's a big barge that pulls up alongside, fills it up. That thing was still tied up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it took quite a while for us to get going. And then once we got going, the seas were a bit rough last night. People were feeling it, shifting. Hey, let's all do this. Hey, Joe. I was trying to do a hey Norm. Joe's here. Hi Joe, how are you? Come on in. So it took us a while to get started, and then once we got out there, the seas were a bit rough last night. Some of you who were on the higher decks, I know y'all were really feeling it. Yeah, we were feeling it down on the lower decks, and we had this tremendous amount of salt spray. Oh, look, I've got I got a little head on my shoulder now. I like that. I got Joe hanging out right there. Nice, I like it, Joe. You're kind of like coming out of the bushes. I like that. I like that a lot. It's so much more fun doing these when I've got people like to actually talk to, and don't respond. They just sit there and go. So this is what it's like doing it with a live audience. I'm having fun. What stops on the cruise? We're at Princess Keys today right now. We'll be picking up the last tender around 4:30, and then we're going to have a sea day tomorrow. Then we've got San Juan, St. Thomas, and then 2 sea days before we go back. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Hey, everybody. I don't know if I missed anybody who is tuned in, but hi, everybody. How you doing? We got Rick. We got Sue and Phil are here. Rick, anyone in the group in a sphere cabin? Actually, we've got a couple of sphere cabins right back there. What do we, hey, why don't one of you guys come on over here and just tell us, what do you think about the sphere cabin? Look, I've got 2 microphones. Grab both microphones. Yeah, grab a chair there. Come on, slide in. Slide. Oh no, you got to slide. People need to see you. There you go. So here, right. you need both of them. There you go. Okay. So this is Joe. Joe is staying in a sphere cabin. So tell us about that sphere cabin.
Oh, it's a lot deeper than most cabins.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more enclosed until you get right to the outside, but we have 2 chairs, but then we have 2 lounge chairs.
2 lounge chairs. Ooh.
So yeah, it's nice, and you know the amount of space that it actually bows out from the rest of the ship. You do get a good view from looking forward and looking back, and it's directly mid-ship, so you look forward about 500 feet and look back about 500 feet.
So if you haven't seen the ship, there's this big glass sphere that comes out the side, and there's balconies there.
Yeah, and we're on deck 15, so you know it's quite a ways up from where I've been on other cruises.
It's up there.
As you were talking about the motion last night, we were laying in bed and we could see the clothes moving around in the closet.
There was a lot of motion of the ocean, even down on deck 6 where we were staying. We could feel it. So we were just imagining what you guys were feeling up on the upper decks.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. So what do you think so far of the Sun Princess since you're sitting here?
Really, really nice. I mean, I've looked at a couple of Facebook groups and I've seen some complaints, but I say it's what you make of it. Overall, the food has been really great. Like I said, there have been a couple of hiccups, but my wife and I got to enjoy the thermal suite today.
Ooh, thermal suite, nice.
I could just live there all year long. Between the sauna, the steam room, a salt room, the glorified hot tub that they have, these 2 huge overhead jets of water coming down on you.
Nice.
Oh, it's just remarkable. And the stone lounge beds in there. Yeah. And so it's a really relaxing environment.
So this ad brought to you by the spa here on Sun Princess. Joe is loving it. Joe is absolutely loving the spa.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just so happy to be back on a ship.
Nice.
As you say, what's the best ship? The one you're on.
The one we're on right now, and right now this is my absolute favorite ship in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said,
awesome.
It's just, you know, as I told Walt yesterday, I didn't know what I was more excited about, seeing the Sun Princess or seeing Walt.
The Sun Princess. Sun Princess wins every time.
He's a pretty darn good close second.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. I mean, 2.5 years of following you, and you know, you're kind of,
finally me.
You know, like a movie star.
No.
You know, we get to see you all the time on the lives, but you don't get to see us.
No, I don't, and that's the best part of this.
So, like, even having a conversation with Rebecca this morning, you know, it's like I was talking to her, but I was kind of closing my eyes, and I was
you never
listening
see her.
to her on the live.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's just like I said, thrilled to be here.
All right, Joe. Well, thank you.
But yeah, I will turn this back over to the expert.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you for being a part of it.
Awesome, man. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So that is Joe, everybody. One of our colleagues. Yeah, it's a round of applause for Joe. I'm loving this. This is so much fun. This is so much fun doing this with a live audience. And hey, folks, just keep asking questions. I've got more folks hanging out here. We've got Kurt back there. He's hanging out in the Sphere balcony. Somebody asked if we've got anything fun planned. We're doing a food tour, our favorite food tour in San Juan. It's called Flavors of San Juan. If you really just want to like get deep into like old San Juan and find some cool places to eat, to drink, look up Flavors of San Juan. They're really great. We don't get anything from them. I just like recommending them because they're really good company. Usually get like 5 places to eat. Plus they do a rum tour and they do some other like history tours and things like that as well. So, hey Bobby, how are you? Alex is here. Hey, Kurt is here. Hi Kurt, he's back there. Hey Aaron, how are you? What did we do for dinner last night? So last night for dinner, we had an absolutely lovely meal in the main dining room. Now, the whole service was a bit messed up because their systems were down. The app was down, like our app didn't work, like nothing worked last night. So it was a bit of a cluster getting in, and some people were getting cranky, and it's like, well, you're still gonna get food, so just relax. So our dinner reservation turned into no reservation. We ended up going down to deck 6. And we had an absolutely fabulous meal. I had braised short ribs. We had some, I had a, what did I have? I had a creme brulee, had some really good bucatini pasta. Absolutely amazing. It was just really, really, really nice meal. So that was the main dining room last night. We're doing teppanyaki tonight. We got Spellbound coming up this week. We've got Rudy's coming up this week. And I'm doing Dario's. Now, Rebecca doesn't eat meat, so I am doing Dario's. And we've got some other friends doing Dario's. And what's really cool is, are you doing Dario's? Me too? See? So what was one of the cool things that we did, and, you know, a lot of people say, so what's a group cruise like? And we don't, I mean, we have a few group activities, but it's not like we're doing something every single day because, you know, we want these guys to just enjoy the ship, go have a good time. But one of the things that Rebecca and I did was we let everybody know, hi, how are you? We let everybody know where we were having dinner each night and what time, and then if they wanted to make dinner reservations at the same time, you know, they could just meet up with us. So we've got a bunch of folks going to Spellbound with us, where we've got some folks going to Rudy's, we've got folks going to teppanyaki, so that's kind of fun. But what's really, really nice about going on a group cruise is that you come on and you've got this like little group family going on. We've got Josie over here who's on her very first cruise, and she's already made some good friends, and it helps, especially if you're going on your first cruise. Going with a group is a great way to go on your first cruise, and then you've got folks that kind of guide you and help you along. So that's what we did last night for dinner, Aaron. I know you always love to know about the food. I love the food. Hey, Michael, how are you? I love it. Sue and Phil, as of right now, we are not rerouting at all because of Oscar. I think we are going to be too far to the east to be affected. We're actually in the Bahamas right now. So if we were going to be affected, it would be in a couple of days. But as of right now, we are on track. Hey, Chuck, how are you? What do I recommend for a family with a 14-year-old boy interested in a first cruise, but not too... Did you come up with something else? Okay. So a 14-year-old boy who's interested in a first cruise. Well, you're going to be looking at the family cruise line. Now, I don't know what the kid is into, first of all. Not every cruise line is the same, has the same features and the same amenities, and not every ship within the same cruise line, right? So, like Carnival has 20-plus ships. Royal Caribbean has 20-plus ships. Norwegian has around 20 ships. You got small ships, you've got larger ships, and you've got really, really big ships. And, you know, first of all, how is your son around people? You know, if your son is good around, you know, thousands of people, you know, 5,000, 6,000 people, well, then you can be looking at the Icon, you can look at Oasis, things like that. If they don't like big crowds, then you can go with some of the smaller ships. But you got to make sure that whatever is available on the ship is going to keep the kid entertained. Like something like the Sun Princess. Sun Princess was supposed to have a few more fun things on top, but what a lot of people don't realize is Princess has an amazing kids program. I mean, an amazing kids program. So even though they don't have all the top deck activities, your kid is going to have a heck of a lot of fun hanging out with a lot of other kids their age and just enjoying all the things that Princess offers. So if it's going to be your first cruise, I mean, certainly you want to work with a travel agent, whether that's me or one of my many colleagues, because that's one of the things we do. We talk to the many clients that are sitting here today on this group cruise, and we listen. And then we try to match you up with a ship. We never match you up with a cruise line. We match you up with a ship. So if you're interested in going out on your first cruise, you're watching me on TikTok, there are links in my profile, or just reach out at Where's Walter Travel. If you're watching on YouTube and all the other channels, there's links down in the description, so just reach out, where'swaltertravel.com. Our services are 100% free to you. I've got a bunch of people on here who are proof that I think we do a pretty good job. Do we do a decent job?
Excellent job.
I'm begging for applause. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, all right. I will beg for applause anytime. So, but thank you guys, I appreciate it. You got to be a little faster on the next cue, okay? Thank you. Hey, Texas man, you just got off the Icon and you're ready for the next cruise. Oh man, somebody just got off the Icon. What a ship. If you guys haven't been on the Icon overseas yet, what a freaking ship. Oh my God, that's all I'm going to say about it. It is absolutely amazing. I want to do a group cruise on the Icon, but I don't want my client to have to take out a second mortgage to come join us on the group. So when the price comes down a little bit, maybe we'll go ahead and set up another group. What would I recommend for just a 28 or a 26 couple? Well, I mean, the sky is the limit. I have 320 something cruise ships to choose from. So it all depends on what you're looking for. So here's some of the things. You know, how many people do you want to be around? What's important to you on the ship itself? Where do you want to go? When do you want to go? Those are two of the biggest things, because where you want to go and when you want to go, that's going to cut down the amount of ships, because there's only a finite amount of ships that are leaving from every single port at any given time of the year. So, you know, when we have a intake call and you give me all the parameters that you're looking for, then Rebecca and I are going to go off and do some research, and we're going to present you with anywhere from 3 to 5 options to start with, and then we just keep working back and forth. So I don't have a recommendation, look, go on this ship or go on that cruise line, because they're all so vastly different. And even something like, you know, the Sun Princess, there are a lot of Princess faithful who are really not enjoying this ship. They're like, you know, it's too big, it's too this, it's too that. I'm kind of enjoying it. Yes, it is an evolution in Princess. I mean, if you go from the Coral Princess up to the Sun Princess, it's big. I think the Royal class is absolutely beautiful. They've had some time to tweak and adjust the Royal class. It will be interesting to see the Star. When the Star comes out, see what they've tweaked. Because on this ship itself, they've already tweaked a lot of things. I mean, there were a whole bunch of restaurants that moved around. They have now made the dome, apparently it is adults only. So they're already tweaking this ship. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Star. And then if they're going to build any more. I was actually kind of surprised the Princess built a ship this big. But now that they started, I mean, they're here, so they're in a big they're in big ship mode now. I really hope they're going to build a few more small ones too. So Michael says, world's best travel agent. I booked your first cruise and getting ready to go on a third one, already looking at a fourth. Thank you, Michael. Michael McIntyre was the very first client that we ever had. So Michael, you have a special place in my heart, you and your mom. I was just so happy we finally got a chance to meet. And I love it. If any of y'all are going to be in Orlando, please always let me know. If we have the time to come have a cup of coffee, have lunch, we will always come to meet you. So thank you, Michael, for the kind words. Rick, thank you so much for the kind words. You booked with 5 agents and you will never use anyone else. Aww. Aww. That is so nice. That's so nice, Rick. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you guys say. I'm looking off camera for, I don't want to go spinning things around, but I've got a lovely little audience sitting right here off camera, so thank you. I appreciate it. Chuck, you followed up with not too expensive. It would be 2 parents and a grandfather included. I mean, if you're just looking at price, you're going to be looking at Carnival for sure. You might look at MSC. You might even look at Margaritaville. I mean, Margaritaville Islander is a fun ship. Now, there may not be enough for the kid to do. I'll tell you that. The slide, it's a decent slide, but it's not like it's going to keep the kid entertained like some of the other ones. But you're probably going to look at Carnival and MSC first. Sometimes Norwegian has a good deal. Royal Caribbean off-season, smaller ship, you can get some good deals there. But I mean, if you want to reach out, we'll be happy to help you out, Chuck. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, Tori is saying the Bahamas from Texas. I mean, you've only got so many choices if you're coming from Texas. And the Bahamas is a long cruise. So the Bahamas, you're going to need an 8 to 10 night cruise to get around because most of Texas is going to be Western Caribbean. So like for Royal Caribbean to come to Coco Cay, that's a minimum 8-day cruise because they've got to come around Florida to get there. So you're going to be looking at 8 to 10 day cruises. Your choices are going to be Carnival, Royal Caribbean, sometime Princess, sometimes Norwegian. Pretty soon MSC. MSC is coming over next year at some point. I don't know. At some point next year, MSC will be over there. So those are your choices. But if you want to get to the Bahamas, it's from Texas, it's going to be an 8 to 10 day cruise. 7-day cruises are not long enough for them to get over there. There may be somebody that does it, but I don't know of anybody that does it in 7 days. So let's see. Alex, any word on when Princess will announce its late 2026 itineraries? Some of you are impatient. I will go up and ask the captain right after this show. No, I don't know. I thought most of 26 was already out, but I'm not entirely sure when those are coming out yet. But as soon as we know, Alex, we will try to pass it on to everybody else. Joe, you're going on Royal Caribbean. What do I recommend for buying for more outlets for your room? That's a great question. If you guys have been following along, you know Royal Caribbean has said no to anything that will turn one power outlet into multiple power outlets. To my knowledge, that does not include USB ports. It may or may not. Okay. It does not include. I'm getting confirmation from off camera from a reliable source that's saying no. So here's what I use. I go online and I buy a multi-port USB hub. And that's what I do. So I plug that into the outlet, and then I've got 10 ports that I can charge up all of my USB-based devices. Now that has come with me on every single cruise ship, even the Icon of the Seas. Now this would be before Royal Caribbean, you know, made their announcement. But that has not been a problem so far. Oh, Texas Man saying the Icon allowed your multi-USB hub on last week. See, a USB hub is technically a lower power device, so it's not converting, you know, a 120 into 3 more 120s. It's still just using that single 120, and then it's distributing the power to the other USB devices. That sounded like a plausible explanation, so I'll go with that. But they don't seem to be bothered yet by something like that. So thank you, Texas Man, for that, for chiming in. Anybody here have any questions so far? No? No, they're all in stunned silence that I'm actually sitting here live doing this.
What's the lottery numbers?
What are the lottery numbers? I'm going to go with 2, 18, 22, 33, 41, let's say 48, and then the Powerball number will be 12.
So if you win the lottery, what would be the cruise you go on?
Oh, that's a great question. I love that. I love that. Cindy just said, if I win the lottery, what cruise would I go on? That's a really good question. So, you know, most people would probably say the World Cruise. So I don't know if it would be the World Cruise, but there is a Hurtigruten that goes pole to pole, North Pole to South Pole. That is absolutely amazing. It's a Hurtigruten, which is an expedition cruise line. That I would probably look at the pole to pole. Now, Cindy, what about you? What would you do if you won the lottery?
I'd just stay on cruises. I'd just hop.
You would just hop cruises. Yeah. Now, see, the plus of a world cruise is that you're on the ship for a long time. The downside is you're on the ship for a long time, so you might get bored. So, to Cindy's point, you could do like a 40-day cruise on a ship, get off that ship, do a 40-day cruise on another ship, get off that ship. Oh yeah. See.
Lines along.
Yeah.
You get the owner's suite anyway, so what?
You're going to get the owner's suite anyway, exactly. So who cares what cruise line you're on? So, you know, there is that loyalty program. So, you know, everybody wants you to be loyal to Royal and loyal to this and loyal to that. I'll be honest, we're now elite on this cruise line, but that took us almost 20 years to do it. But we have been on 12 different cruise lines over 20 years. We're not loyal to any single cruise line. I just like going on ships. I really, really enjoy going on ships. By the way, I see a message on TikTok that some comments are being filtered. I will remind you that if you're trying to ask a question about Virgin Voyages, You have to use the letters VV. You can't use the word Virgin on TikTok. You can use Virgin Voyages on YouTube all day long. They're fine with it, which is still very strange because Virgin Voyages has a huge channel on TikTok. So, but if you're trying to ask me a question about Virgin Voyages, please use the letters VV. That is not me filtering your question. Sorry about that. Oh, Nevada Sports 2.0. Great question. Hey guys, how are you? We got more folks joining the Peanut Gallery. Hello. Hello. So, is the premium pack? How many people here have the premium package? All right. So everybody who's here, is it worth it on this cruise?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. So I have about 8 or 10 who said absolutely. Now here's the thing. We are on the Sun Princess. Sun Princess has, I don't know, a dozen restaurants. So it has a lot more restaurants. Usually you're going to have Sabatini's, you're going to have the Crown Grill, and you usually have like a Rudy seafood of some sort. This particular ship has a lot more restaurants on it. So I think that premium package with the unlimited dining, even on a 7-day cruise, totally worth it on this ship. Is it worth it on other ships that only have 2 or 3 restaurants? If you want to have that unlimited drink package and you want to have the, you know, the more Wi-Fi, I think one of the best perks is actually the reserved seating in the theater. Because everybody who's there early, you're looking longingly at that group of seats that are just sitting there. And you're like, I really want to sit there. And then, you know, you just come strolling in 10 minutes before the show and you just walk right up and sit down. I think that's the best perk of the whole thing. So definitely the plus. I think everybody should go with the plus. And then in terms of the premium, I would look at the ship and make sure there's at least 3 restaurants. If there's only 2 restaurants, it might be better. You might be better off just simply paying for those restaurants unless you want the other perks that are in there. So I would think so. Hey, did you guys have a good day?
Yes.
Yes? Everybody have a good day? Yeah? Nice.
We stayed on the ship. Yeah.
Yes, we stayed on the ship too.
Enjoyed the sanctuary today.
That's right, you guys were in the sanctuary. So John is a good example of some folks who actually bid up. You were in a cabana mini suite, and then they decided to bid up to the sanctuary. They got a sanctuary mini suite. Are we enjoying the benefits of the sanctuary? Yes.
It's beautiful.
Is it? Nice, nice. So the sanctuary on every other Princess ship, you can book. The minute you get on the ship, you can go on up there and you can book it for the week, you can book it for the day, you can book, you know, whatever. But starting with her North American debut on the Sun Princess, the sanctuary is now their answer to the retreat, to the Haven, to the Yacht Club, where the sanctuary, which I love on this ship, is actually on the back of the ship, which is where it should have been all along instead of on the front. But on the back of the ship, it is now exclusive to suites, and it is exclusive to folks who are booked in sanctuary level mini suites. And it's really, really awesome. So, I mean, it looks gorgeous back there. I'm hoping to sneak in there with you at some point just to walk around. I was the creepy stalker guy a little while ago. I had my phone over the glass, like just shooting along in there. So.
It's very quiet.
Yes, yes. So I'm hoping I can at least walk up there and show it to you guys. Hey, Texas man, you're excited to talk about the Greek cruise. I can't wait to talk to you about the Greek cruise. We're already 30 minutes into this thing. So I'm going to remind you that I'm Walter with Where's Walter Travel, your independent travel agent. We book cruise at Land Luxury Expedition. Our services are 100% free to you. So if you want to reach out wherever you're watching us, there's going to be links in the profile. There's going to be links in the description. Or you can just simply go to Where's Walter Travel and reach out, just like all of these fine people did. We've got almost 40 people on this group cruise. How about that? And I encourage you to follow, share, like, do all the wonderful things that all of these social channels like. We are currently live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So hi, everybody, wherever you are. I wish you were with us. We are on the amazing new Sun Princess. We were going to be sitting up in the dome, which is right above my head. However, it's close. So we're sitting in the Cascade Bar, which is right below the dome. It's absolutely lovely. And it looks like we have a church service that's going to be starting up in a little while. Well, that's okay. We're going to be out of here at 5. So does somebody want to just ask them what time they're starting? Because I would really hate to intrude on their service. I'm going to assume that it's going to be 5. So anyway, I see that they're setting up for a lovely church service in here, and I don't want to be disturbing the church service with a live stream. Nobody told us they were going to be doing this. That's why we thought we'd be up here. We'd be nice and quiet, but I want to be respectful of things going on. So 5 o'clock. Okay, we'll be done by 5. We'll be done by 5 so we can get out of your way. I didn't know you guys were going to be up here. My apologies. So there's going to be a church service up here at 5 o'clock. So just so you know, so you got 30 minutes to ask me any questions you want to ask about the Sun Princess, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. Aaron, time flies. You remember when we announced this group cruise? What was going through our head as we were finally walking on the Sun Princess? Oh, that's easy. This is way uphill. The gangway was like this coming onto the ship. It was a long walk up. No, it was amazing. It was crazy when we finally saw, you know, you get that first glimpse of the dome as you're finally driving. Fort Lauderdale's not one of those ports where you can really see the ship. Like Port Canaveral, you come up over the bridge as you're coming into Port Canaveral, and there they all are. You can see them beautifully. Miami, you can see them beautifully, like Scarlet Lady's just waiting for you as you're driving in. This one is like hidden in all the mess of the freight and everything. So I saw the dome first, and I was like, woo, there it is. But once we came on, I mean, the piazza just kind of blows you away when you walk on. We came on 6, which was interesting. So we didn't really get that grand entrance onto the ship, which would have been up on 7. But thank God, because 7 would have been even steeper to go up another deck. But yeah, it is crazy, Aaron. We started this, needed a rope. Yeah, that's true. It could have been a ropes course climbing up. That would have been a lot of fun. But yeah, so it is hard to believe that we started it over a year ago. And yeah, and now we're all here. Larry. I'm sorry, does that mean celebrity as well? Oh yeah, Larry is asking about the power converters. I have not heard celebrity say anything about the power converters yet. Only Royal Caribbean has come out with it. I'm assuming that something may have happened on the Icon, because you remember how Icon just suddenly went out of service for a week? We thought it was propulsion. It could have been electrical. We don't know. But it was like, it seemed to all revolve around the Icon that all this announcement came out. But I have not seen celebrity make any announcements yet regarding power. So as far as I know, it's all good. Larry, can I give you a link to the USB converter? It's a no-name brand. It might be Anchor. I got it from Amazon. It's not like a really a known brand. Hey, JCC, you're on board. Hey, well, hello. Maybe, hopefully I'm going to see you at some point around here. Many people have, Lynn is saying, many people have said there are more outlets on the Sun. Oh my God, there's a ton of outlets in your room. There are, in fact, there are power outlets and USB on both sides of the bed. There are 1, 2, at least 3 around the desk. Plus you've got 2 European. So like we tell everybody, bring a European converter, then you can get those. Yeah. So there is plenty of power on the Sun Princess. You will not need to bring any kind of, I don't think you'll need any kind of a power strip or anything like that on the Sun Princess. There is a lot on here for sure. What do I think of the eatery buffet concept? Yay or nay on the eatery so far? Yeah? Okay, so we're that's on the Lido, but it's good.
But the pizza's really good on the ship, and that's coming from New York.
There you go. So pizza's really good. Yes, yes. So the eatery buffet, we got big thumbs up on the crew serving us, which we do enjoy. Because you know, too many people just, you know, there's a lot of handsy people, and you know who you are. You shouldn't be handsy with a buffet, and we see you. You shouldn't be doing that. So big thumbs up on that. One thing I have noticed is, as Princess always seems to do, they made it a little bit tight, a little bit tighter than it should be for a ship with 4,000 people. And they don't have clearly defined lines, which most buffets don't, but I've seen it where people are coming in from both sides, and it's like, where are we coming in from? And some folks have just complained that it's hard to get food because it's so tight. Now, I went in there earlier today at breakfast time. It was a little nutty at breakfast time, but come on, buffet at breakfast is going to be a little nutty. But what I did find was the Americana diner all the way in the back, there was nobody back there. So we just walked right in and got breakfast. So people seem to forget that the Americana diner is in the back of the buffet. So if the eatery is crazy, you can go all the way back there, and they still serve you in the eatery. So I think it is nice. I will say, if I'm being completely honest, I thought the buffet on the Sky Princess was laid out better and had really good food, but it was a self-serve thing, which, I mean, you kind of deal with that. But so far, everybody here in the group who's sitting up here has given it a thumbs up for the eatery. So yeah. Have they closed the Americana Diner? No, well, they just moved it. So the Americana Diner during the makeover on the Transatlantic was moved to the very, very back of the eatery, which is where Dario's and the Catch by Rudy were. So Dario's is now on 7, Crown Grill is, I don't know, I have to look at a playbook to see where everything is right now. I thought it would just be hilarious. What's that?
Rebecca usually tells you.
Yeah, I know. Rebecca tells me where things are. See, you all think that I'm like the smart one who knows where everything is on the ship. I just get on the ship and I go, honey, where are we going? All right, I'll follow you that way. And it's been that way ever since we started cruising. I'm going to be very honest. I can plan everybody else's cruise fabulous, but when it comes to my own cruise, I don't have time. I just let her take care of it, and I just show up and I go. So, Fred, you're on the Carnival Celebration. Everybody say hi, Fred. Hey, Fred. Have a great time on the Carnival Celebration. Alex is saying that he loved breakfast in the main dining room. You try to avoid the buffet. I mean, that is nice, right? You go to the main dining room, and it is kind of nice. They serve you, and it is a lovely thing. I will say the International Cafe on this ship has a lot of stuff. So you could go to town for breakfast in the International Cafe on this ship. It's not just a couple of token pastries and things. It's really, really good. And I will say I'm enjoying coffee currents. I know a lot of y'all. Yeah, a lot of coffee currents. We're enjoying that.
Coffee great. I got it at International. I was up early, about 10 after 5.
Wow.
Coffee current was closed. International was one.
International Cafe, 24 hours, baby.
Fantastic coffee.
You got it. Fantastic coffee. And I actually brought my little, hot cup with me. So I just take the coffee and I pour it into my nice little hot cup, a little double-walled thing. Keeps it nice and hot. So International Cafe is your 24-hour coffee. They have snacks and things like that. But on this particular ship, they have Coffee Current, which is another coffee shop. Plus, we have a gelato stand right next to Princess Live that also has coffee, and they make affogatos, and they have an affogato menu.
Really?
So we will, yes.
I did not know that.
You do now. So just remember, we will be checking out the affogato menu.
Because that's a premium dessert.
Yes.
The premiere.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, good to know.
There you go.
Be right back.
So,
We'll be right back.
yeah. Go get one. Yeah. So they have gelatos and they have affogatos in right across from Princess Live. I don't know what it's called, but if you're on the Premier package, that is all included as well. So Kurt is on board the ship. Look, Kurt's right there. That's Kurt right there. He's sitting right there. So if you need proof that he's on board, I don't think it gets much more proof than that. So what do we think of the new Piazza concept? I think it's gorgeous. What do y'all think about that new Piazza that they got going on this ship? So much. And the band was phenomenal last night. They were just great, lots of dancing going on. I like the split screens. I mean, you know, it's nice to have more room, right? The Piazza is the heart of any Princess ship. Usually it's a little tight.
There's a lot of venues great off of it or on it.
Yes.
Which is nice. I mean, there's tons of venues, restaurants, bars, everything. So that's convenient.
John is loving that there are a lot of venues right off it. It is 3 floors, so we've got decks 6, 7, and 8. So you've got a lot of space for things, and John is just loving that there's just all these little venues right off the Piazza. So it is the heart of the ship. It is where so much is going on, and if you want to find something to do, the Piazza is usually where you're going to find it. And if you're in Alaska on a Princess ship, you might find puppies in the Piazza too, which is like the coolest thing. If you all don't know about that, they bring sled dog puppies onto the ship. I believe it is in Skagway. Is where they, so if your ship goes to Skagway, they bring puppies onto the ship. It's called Puppies in the Piazza. I love it. What do I think of the Medallion and the app? Well, the Medallion has been my favorite thing since it came out. I love this thing. Now, when the app fails, like it did last night, yeah, it goes down. So basically, we more or less had a whole day yesterday without the app. That was kind of a pain in the butt. But I wish every cruise line had this. I mean, Virgin Voyages and Princess are two of my favorites because they do have this. The door unlocks. You're about 5 feet away from your door. Your door goes ahead and unlocks for you. So you're going on in, you pay for everything, you get on and off the ship with this thing. It is fabulous. I wish every cruise line. I don't understand why the Carnival Corporation doesn't have this on every one of their cruise lines, because I mean, Princess has had this, what is it, like going on 10 years now? 8, 10 years they've been doing this? So I love it. I flat out love it. What about you guys? You all good with the Medallion? Good? What?
Once you get the wristband.
Yeah, once you get the wristband, yeah. And what's kind of cool.
First time on a cruise that has it.
Yeah.
We've been very pleased.
And what I love about it, I can actually show it to you on this particular wristband. I had to buy a new wristband, but they actually personalize it. I'll show it to YouTube first. I don't know if you can see it, but they actually personalize it. It's got my name on it. It's got the date. It's going to be backwards on TikTok, I know, but it's got the name on it. It's got the date. So I love that they personalize the thing, and it's personalized for every single cruise. And if you get it delivered to your house, literally there is no line. The only line at the terminal is getting to security. Once you go through security, you literally just walk right onto the ship. There is no check-in. There's no nothing. If you've already got it, you just walk right onto the ship. What ports are we going to? We are going to St. Thomas. Yeah, we're going to St. Thomas in Puerto Rico, San Juan. We just we're getting ready to leave Princess Keys here in the Bahamas, which, by the way, Princess Keys is right next to Lookout Cay, or Lookout Key from Disney. I can actually see the pier right over there, so we're right here. Tammy, you enjoyed your day. You did the glass bottom boat ride. Now going to Umai for dinner. That's where we're heading, to Teppanyaki. Yay, thank you. Looking good. I appreciate it. Great to see you too. How far in advance do I recommend booking dinners? As soon as they open. As soon as they open, right? As soon as dinner reservations are open, start booking.
A couple nights that we didn't, so we'll have to walk up. Yeah.
And John was the big hero. He saw that more dining reservations opened up.
Oh, that's right, so they did the switch.
Let the whole group know. Yeah, once they started moving restaurants around, they realized, hey, we've got some more room. So John was like, hey, everybody in the group, let's go. Dining reservations are open. So that was great. That was absolutely great. How is the pizza on the Sun?
Spectacular.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Have we done Alfredo's yet? Is that?
No, we did the.
Spectacular. I can't wait. I wanted to get.
I've got outstanding. I've got, oh my gosh. So the slice pizza by the pool, as usual, very, very good. We haven't been to Alfredo's yet, but the folks who have been to Alfredo's are just like, oh my God. Alfredo's on the Sky Princess was ridiculous. But what I can tell you that the pizza from, so what they did really nice on the Lido here, you've got pizza, tacos, shawarma, salad bar, brats and burgers and hot dogs. So it's not just pizza and a burger bar. You've actually got two different things. Plus you got coffee and cones over on the other side. So there is actually, it kind of reminds me of what Royal Caribbean did in the Dome, in the Aqua Dome, where you've got more food stations than we're used to. So on the Lido, we've got 4 nice stations. I can tell you that the pizza is really good at Slice Pizzeria, and then Alfredo's is just a whole nother level. So I can't wait to go try that. So Aaron, how are we liking the Cove balcony? It's amazing. You do need to know though, when the weather's rough, the spray comes up. So I've got a beautiful video that I shot last night for 4 hours from the balcony, the sail away, and when I went to pick up my camera, it was completely encrusted in salt because there was just so much spray coming up. But the video looks great, and I'm actually going to let it go until the salt just completely blocks the lens. But that's the only thing to know, that when the weather's rough, you are so low, you could literally go fishing off the ship if you weren't going to be banned from the cruise line for doing so. But I could literally throw a line out if I wanted to. We're below the lifeboats. It's a really cool perspective. Never been that low before. I would totally book it again. The one interesting thing, there's this massive steel door right outside that they can close on the outside of the glass door. So if it was really getting rough, so we would have no access to the balcony. We would have an ocean view at that point. But no, I'm loving the Cove balcony. If you want to try something different and you want to be down lower, absolutely, it would be amazing. Tammy is liking the Lido deck pizza, tacos, and burgers. I'll tell you what, the thing about tacos though, I'm not a big fan of the shells. I like the soft shell tacos. Do cruise lines do deals if you wanted to book within 30 days? Sometimes. Right now, the best prices are usually way out in advance, like when they first drop. On occasion, there will be, but cruising is still white hot. So depending on the cruise you want to go to, most cruise lines are going up as you get closer, because it's like, yeah, the ship is already 90% full. If we don't sell that last 10%, who cares? And if they really want to buy that last 10%, well, then they can pay extra for it. So yeah. First impression comparing to a Carnival Excel class. So it's, you know, this ship has been modified so much you wouldn't even know that it shares the bones with the Carnival Excel class. So it doesn't compare at all. It's completely different. I like the flow on this ship a little bit more. I really like the pool area much more. God, that big screen is ridiculous. The big screen is absolutely amazing up there. But they're just two completely different animals. You know, Carnival is all about the family. They've got the roller coaster. They've got a lot more games, and you got the water slides and all those things going on. So this is more of a, I would say, I don't want to call it an adult ship, but it's a little bit more of an adult ship in the sense that you don't have quite as many games. Anybody else been on a Carnival Excel class? Any comments? No? No? Okay. Okay. But beautiful ship. Beautiful ship. Can they separate the bed into a two? Yes. You absolutely can separate the beds into the two. Yes. Question, is the bar and the coffee 24 hours at the International Cafe? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Huh? What? Oh, the bar is until 2 a.m., but the coffee is 24 hours. And then what, they start again at 6? So they got to turn off the bar for like 4 hours, something like that. So he said the bar is until 2 a.m., but the coffee is 24 hours at the International Cafe. So, yeah. Your room is stepped away from the International Coffee Bar. Yay, that's awesome. You were on the Sun last month, going again in 2 weeks. Wow. Yeah, you're not going to know where any of the restaurants are. Christine, 10 out of 10, recommend the tiramisu latte. You know, I didn't have the tiramisu latte. What I had last night, and if, yeah.
Tiramisu.
Oh, that was you.
I had
Nice.
that blended like Starbucks.
Nice.
Really good.
Nice.
I recommend.
So what I highly recommend, anybody going to the main dining room, look on the left side of the dessert menu. There are hot drinks, and there is a chocolate almond. Now, I do not like amaretto, but I flat out love the chocolate almond, and this is hot chocolate with amaretto. It was freaking amazing, and it's on the left side of the main dining room dessert menu. Now, it may show up in some of the other restaurants too, like Crown Grill may have it as well, but that is absolutely amazing. So, let's see, Kurt is sitting right there. Yeah, he sure is. Seems like the Lido is short on bars compared to Sky. Yeah, seems about the same. Seems about the same to me. I don't really count bars on ships, so I don't know. What do you guys, are you guys okay with the bars? Are you having any trouble getting drinks on the ship?
Plus they deliver.
Yeah, plus they deliver, that's true. You can use the Ocean Now
There's plenty of
service.
walking around constantly
Yeah.
asking
A
to.
lot of service.
Yeah.
Service.
Yeah, and folks are saying too, there's a lot of folks just walking around asking for service, so they don't really seem to be having any extra issues getting drinks here. So Christina says they have to have the tiramisu blended. Good call. How about Panama Canal? You're from Jersey looking for a 2025. How about that Panama Canal? I say yes. Panama Canal is amazing. So you've got two choices with the Panama. Actually, you got three choices with the Panama Canal. You've got a partial transit where the ship is going to leave Florida. It's going to go into the Panama Canal. It's going to hit Gatun Lake. It's going to turn around. It's going to come back out. Those are usually like 10-day cruises. And that's a great way to see the Panama Canal. And then you can take, I highly recommend, there's an excursion almost always with those that will take you all the way through to the Bridge of the Americas on the Pacific side. That's really cool because you get the big cruise ship coming through the lock, and then you're on a little tiny boat going through the rest of the lock, and it's really, really impressive. Then the other option is you can do a full transit. You go from Florida to California, you go from California to Florida. And then the third option, I know Oceana does this, where you can go from Tampa, go all the way through the Panama Canal, you overnight in Panama City, and then you come back to Tampa. So you actually get to go through the canal twice. It's a round trip, but you get to go all the way through the canal. So those are your three options right there. If you'd like to know the differences between them or try to figure them out, A lot of cruise lines offer these, and you have two different options with the canal. You've got the original lock, which requires a smaller ship, and you've got the new lock that the bigger ships can go through, such as like Celebrity Beyond. I think the Sun Princess will even fit through the new lock. So it just depends on what you want to do. But if you want to talk about options, there are all kinds of options. Ashley, what were to change it with the restaurant? They did a big switcheroo with about 6 restaurants on the Sun Princess, just kind of moved them all around. So question, Question, are there any vegan, dairy-free desserts in the buffet, or are they all upon request? Do we have any vegans or dairy-free here?
No, I'll read everything.
Dairy-free, do they have them in the buffet, or do you have to ask for them? Are there dairy-free desserts in the buffet? It's going to get you the answer. Do they have dairy-free desserts in the buffet, or do you have to ask for them?
I think, from what I've seen, if you ask and let them know the allergy, they've been very accommodating to my wife.
It sounds like you may have to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think there's Rebecca said they do have the dairy-free gelato.
Oh yeah, they have dairy-free gelato too. So yeah. So thank you for the question. It sounds like you do have to ask for it. We're going to be here for about another 10 minutes, and then there is a church service going to be starting. So we're going to get out of their way quietly. You're going to be on in 3 weeks. That should be awesome. Do they have good mocktails? I haven't had a mocktail yet. Anybody had a mocktail yet? Yeah? Has anybody actually had one? Are they good? We don't know yet? Okay, we don't know yet. Nobody's actually had one, so I'm sorry. Are we going to the butcher's block? Yes, or I am. Rebecca doesn't eat meat, so she is not going.
Father's asking, you know.
Want to go? You got it. Okay. So we are being asked to leave. They are going to be having a church service in here, so they have asked us to leave, folks. I will pop up with another live stream either later tonight or sometime this week. So I thank you for joining us, but we do have to leave. We want to be very respectful of everything that's going on this ship. So everybody have a great evening, and we will pop up again very soon. Have a good day, all. Have a great day, guys. We need to be respectful. There we go. Got it. Got it.
So you've got it hooked up. So this is the camera and then that's just doing the feed.